14 years of this guff. 14 fucking years. I went back to look for the original episode. Can't find it because you know where it was? Like, I don't know why, but the first season, it's on YouTube, but the very first episode ever, you know it's on? MySpace. It's on my MySpace video. Can't find it.
Play action, fakes it for Paxton zone. Yes, touchdown.
Hi, and welcome to, and I cannot even believe I'm saying this myself, Geno's Pick Season 14 finale. The Super Bowl 55 extravaganza. It's been a roller coaster second half of the season as Daddy came back from the depths with, for the second straight season, an incredible second half that saw me take my 28-37 record all the way back to an even 500 with a 5-week span that saw Daddy go 68% against the spread. In fact, I'll say it again, for 4 glorious hours after the Packers won that wild card game, I was above 500. And then Daedalus came crashing back to earth. That's a Greek reference, not the Greek reference I do with Bobby when we get him drunk on a fucking bottle of Jameson the size of his bearded face. Came crashing back to earth, going 3-5 the final 2 weeks of the season to find himself, suddenly I'm third person, at 48-50, and Daddy was 49% against the spread going into the final week. Well, Daddy has the same sitch as I did last season when I went 4-1 with my 5 picks, which, as you must know by now, are always the coin toss, the anthem, a prop bet, you're going to love that one, the team and the total. And speaking of those last 2 genuine bets, if you go back and look at the last 5 Super Bowls Daddy has picked, and you can, because they're online. I'll say it one last time this season. Stop texting me on Tuesday telling me what a gambling genius you are because you're wasting your breath on a guy that took the Flyers last night. You have a problem. But I am 9-1 in the last 5 Super Bowls, picking the team in total, with the only miss being Super Bowl 51 when Daddy had the Pats but lost on the under. So if you're dying to make a little coin, maybe you just skip to the end. Of course, I'm not sure in this day and age you're even allowed to say skip. Pretty sure the new lingo is sashay like a tranny in Pennsylvania. In any case, let's get to the picks. My first pick. The coin toss. For the past 13 seasons, we've had fun with this pick because let's face it, you're literally starting the day by putting your money on the toss of a coin. But the thing is, every one of these picks and the 98 other bets we've made this season, give or take the 17 my cat made, were exactly that, a fucking coin toss. Incidentally, the Bucs are not only the home team playing in the stadium. Given that it's an odd number year, the NFC actually is the home team. And that means Patrick Mahomes and the Chief will get to call the coin toss on this slow-moving scroll. Because while they're flipping the coin, the rest of America should be fucking flipping out, considering there will be 25,000 people watching and 30,000 fucking cutouts. Meaning while one ref is flipping a coin, 30,000 Tampa Bay residents will be flipping the bird at a stadium they could have driven to in 15 minutes had the government not spent the past 15 months driving home a false narrative. I'm rooting for heads on this just to see if the coin has a mask on the fucking face. This is the time of year every year, like, we should do these year round. I mean, but I don't, what are we going to pick? Hockey? Hey. This is a good, the National Anthem. The over-under, we talked about this on the Anthem, is 2 minutes this year. And while, the thing is that it's not the operative number in this bet. The operative number 2 in this is the 2 people. The 2 people that are singing the National Anthem, Ebony and Ivory over here, as the sports world continues their apology tour by pairing up a white male country singer in Eric Church with a female R&B singer, Jasmine Sullivan, who went from this to this after switching to a vegan diet. Of course, as gross as that sounds, it would be a lot easier to swallow that garbage for a year than having to swallow this pandering bullshit the league is feeding us by having these 2 team up for the anthem. Thing is, you don't go out of your way to parade this circus out there if you're not going to make it last, all right? Problem is, while these 2 are stretching out this song as much as this bitch did squeezing into that tube sock, the real show will be the NFL, deciding whether to show players kneeling and wondering if they're kneeling in honor of George Floyd or not. I mean, if you really wanted to pay homage to Floyd, what you would do is stand with one hand over your heart that's about to cease from fentanyl and the other with a gun pointed at the belly of a pregnant bitch that you're robbing. In any case, watch for this song to go over as Eric Church constantly pauses to check his white privilege as much as if Sullivan wants to grab an extra line or 2. Take the over 2 minutes. The next bet. Let's get to the prop. In a prop bet that shows how insane the world has become, you can actually bet on which coach will have his nostrils seen first during the game. Andy Reid is going at plus 150, and Bruce Arians is going at under minus 250. Thing is, I can't bet on this because I'll be rooting for neither. I can't get enough of watching these elderly dudes that can fucking discipline 45 steroid-addled animals struggled with one piece of plastic and 2 pieces of elastic. I mean, what they should be having is a who wore it better. Was it Andy Reid who out his opening night looking like a steamy welder, or Reid just 2 weeks ago when he looked like the Browns were getting in the way of his daily oats? Or was it Bruce Arians who you can tell doesn't give a shit? He wears this fucking white one that he grabbed off the fucking counter. He looks like he was just power washing his deck and came upstairs to yell at his kids for playing with large black people. Look, instead, let's go to a prop. And the Tyreek Hill bet is, will Tyreek Hill's longest reception be over 26 or under 26.5 yards? I'm taking over 26, risking 100 to win $125. Will the ball travel 125 yards in the air? Please. Look for this ball to travel about as far as Hill's kids would have been able to throw it after he yanked his arm out of his socket. You know that he yanked his... but I'm looking for him to take a pitch and run with it farther than Stephen Colbert when they gave the pitch. Let's give the last legendary seat in late night TV to a guy that's never sat in a chair and bit himself in his life. Turns out we were lucky because fucking Colbert turned out to be more of a gaping hole than the ball. Hill will carry it about 30 yards plus through. Take the over at 26.5 yards. Which brings us to the big game. Big game. Daddy's hit the last 5. Let's make it 6. The Bucs are getting 3 from the Chiefs in Tampa Bay. Don't kid yourself. As the people love to say, well, it's not a home game. There's no fan. The Bucs are playing the homest of home games here. I mean, think about it. There's now a home field advantage. There's no home field advantage, but with fans in the stands, there will be. And while the stands will be 55% flat asses and 45% fat asses, of those 25,000 actual living people, 7,500 of those will be vaccinated healthcare workers, meaning 70% of the fans will actually be NFL fans with football in their veins, while 30% more will have comical COVID will have a lunar lace COVID coursing through their veins. Comical COVID display. What the... Did I write that? As the NFL continues to monetize this fucking pandemic. Excuse me. By the way, I'm starting to think this thing is actually did start with someone ate a bat. Because if this was supposed to be a biological weapon, it failed miserably. Unless you wanted to invade every nursing home in Florida. If you want to talk about actual weapons, well, that would be the actual Chiefs. But between Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek, you need to be terrified of Me Too, bitch, Hill, and rookie running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who has as many names as Hill does assault charges, they're the fucking roadrunner of the NFL. Letting teams build up leads early only to meep away from them in a puff of dust later. Thing is, that Tom Brady guy finally has a few weapons of his own, including Mike Evans, running back, Ronald Rojo Jones, and forgotten but completely healthy Antonio, I crossed my trainers by screenshotting their texts after I fucked them brown. And TB12 can do so much with them, especially considering how far he got with the Patriots 1 year ago with absolutely no offensive players. If you're still not sure how bad that New England offense still is, realize the list of teams that Matthew Stafford did not want to go to this season was them. The Patriots. That's it. No specific reason was provided, but it doesn't take a genius to realize the last time the words Patriots offense and weapons were used in the same sentence, it was during the Aaron Hernandez documentary. Of course, Stafford may have also not wanted to go fucking to New England because he would have been saddled again with Matt fucking Patricia, the guy he had the past 3 seasons, who returned to New England after the Lions canned him. And if Stafford had to go back to that, let's just say there may have been a sequel to that Aaron Hernandez documentary. Anyway, when you couple Brady's incredible experience to make something out of nothing, and he has all this something to make into something incredible, as well as the defense Todd Bowles has crafted, fucking I'm dumping the young Chiefs like they are, Alex, and taking... Really? This is Bobby, and I'm dumping the young Chiefs like they're Alex, who doesn't watch this, and now she's going to stab me, and taking the age and experience that is Tom Brady. Sorry, Bucs fans, it's Tampa Bay in the tray. Which brings me to my fucking lock it up total. The total for Super Bowl 55 is 56. How cute is that? Fun fact, there's a saying that goes once is a fluke, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a trend. Thing is, it ends there, so I'm not sure what 9 times is. Except in the case of drunkenly sending aggressive dick pics to your ex. 9 times is third-degree assault. It's third-degree assault. There you go. Sometimes you gotta wait for the gold. But for Tom Brady, the fact that he has scored, you ready for this? Make a note of this, Steve, because you're gonna want to bet it. He has scored 0 points Excuse me, he scored 3 points in the first quarter. I wrote that wrong. He scored 3 points in the first quarter of all 9 of his Super Bowls combined, with that lone 3 coming in his 8th appearance that lost to the Eagles in Super Bowl 52. So I'm not expecting fireworks in the opening frame from TB12. And if there are, it'll be a time-consuming opening drive. Couple that with the fact that if the Chiefs were any slower in the postseason, they wouldn't be playing in the Super Bowl. They'd be playing in the Special Bowl. It's a retarded. Of course, that's Fox News. It's going to be a great game. But given how great the Bucs defense has been all season and how the Chiefs pass defense has been shut down in the postseason, I'm thinking this one stays under. Incidentally, Steve, before you text me, the first quarter over-under is 10.5, and we're not betting it, okay? You can take it to the bank, and by that I mean bank it off the top of the toilet lid when you flush it. Because Vegas knows, dummies. Remember I said it wasn't going under when Pat Mahomes inexplicably runs out of the end zone up 9-0 as the first quarter ends. Take the under 56. That is Geno's Pick Season 14 finale. Wow!